And now I'll zoom across to Spain, where I meet Inge Huijbrechts, Global Senior Vice President, Responsible Business and Safety and Security. Hola, buenos dias. Hello, Inge.
Hola, Niels. Nice to see you.
It's great to see you again. Thank you so much for taking the time to chat to me today, all just before the year end. And what a year it's been. Huh? It's been a roller coaster, and we thought we got off that roller coaster about a year ago, but we certainly didn't. Inge, let's go straight into it. An update on, sustainability with Radisson. I want to speak later about the Sustainable Hospitality Alliance, but let's start with Radisson. How have you guys? How has it evolved? How did you make use of these strange times to move along? We had COP26 in the meantime. All of those things happened. An update?
Yeah, with pleasure. So in Radisson Hotel Group, we work on think people, think community, think planet. So I suggest we focus on the planet side, as this is really where things are accelerating, both in demands from our stakeholders as within the company. So what we are doing and what we have done in this past year is both, I would say, on the more technical side and on the guest-facing value proposition side. So I start maybe with the technical side. We have ambitious targets to reduce our footprint by another 30%, building on the 30% we did in the last 10 years. That is, of course, on a pathway to net zero by 2050. We are doing a lot of internal work. We are preparing for our science-based targets, and that has now become a strategic initiative for a net zero transformation. So I think it's not yet out there with published science-based targets, but I would say internally we have really mobilized the right people and made it part of our strategic initiative. So we have a strategic plan to transform the company. We have done that since 2017. It's a rolling plan. It was updated in 2020. And now in 2021, we added an important strategic initiative, the net zero transformation of the company. And that is massive because it mobilizes resources, means, etc. So for 2021 and 2022, we will accelerate that and we will go to public science-based targets, but there's a lot of preparation work before that. Then on the guest-facing side, I have to say something else in relation to that. And with our technical team, we have taken a very important first step on that, is that we have defined Build Planet and Build Planet Advance technical guidance. For the moment, it's guidance. So we have our technical standards, which are already advanced on sustainability, but now we offer 2 additional layers to our owners, so that the owners who want to be innovative and advanced on sustainability, they can, because we give them the guidance, and that guidance is then enough to get a certification level, depending on where you are, what is the most relevant building certification, meaning BREEAM, LEED, or EDGE. Mm-hmm. So we have already got that guidance now in place, very well articulated, with a full modeling tool behind it, so that owners can immediately see what the extra cost is, if any, and what the ROI is. So that is work.
Maybe you can quickly come in there from an owner's perspective. How much of it is obligatory and how much is optional? So how much is, by me signing on with Radisson and being a part of the Radisson family, that I have to do? Because I mean, you rely in a way as well on the owners jumping on your train.
Yeah, so for now, it is a guideline. So we have good technical standards that already allow any owner to be at a very good level of sustainability, and those standards are mandatory. But so it's about MEP, it's about insulation of the building, but if you want to go more and further, then today that's a guideline. But of course, as we put our plan together for the net zero transformation, it will have timelines where certain levels become mandatory for certain brands, certain type of hotels, and certain regions. And that is the work that we are doing now as part of our net zero transformation. We have an increasing number of buildings that are green. I mean, in the last year, there was really an increase in both the integration of green technology by the owners in the buildings, but also in the certification of the buildings. Like, for example, in India, we opened a property in Lonavala, which is green, which was fully on reusing existing materials because of the site, local materials, green as a building. We have the red Silicon Oasis as an example in Dubai. We have the Red Rose Bank in South Africa.
Right.
We have the collection properties in Seville and opening soon in Bilbao, who are both at the highest level of LEED certification. So it's coming more and more that owners take this initiative, not enough yet. Today, we are helping them with guidelines, but over time, these guidelines become standards.
Right. And there's always the discussion of cost now, savings later. But we also know that to do the right thing, unfortunately, there is a cost. It's not, it doesn't all pay back, or does it? What are the ratios that you're working with now, where you say that amortization or whatever it might be?
Yeah, so I think the big piece that is missing, and that has been missing for a long time, so it's really a call on the investor community or the analysts or consulting companies like yourself, is to say, what is the impact on the building value at sale? Because that is the thing that is missing. We have building value increase information from the Green Building Council, from commercial buildings in retail, in offices, but not in hotels. So I think that is thing that is missing. But in terms of payback of the investments itself, our model shows, and we are of course populating and simulating further, but the model shows that the payback is within 10 years. So if you are an investor, then you will have it within your time horizon. If you are a developer and you're looking for payback within, let's say, a few years, 5 years, some of these measures go beyond that.
Right.
Then you should get it back in the building value, which is the information that we don't have. So I think, and then some of them, of course, today what you see in the market is a lot of conversions. If I look at, properties we are integrating in our portfolio, we are still growing extensively. We have added 150 new hotels in EMEA and Asia Pacific in the past years. So that's a substantial growth, and a lot of those are conversions. So of course, if you convert, it's a bit harder to have no additional cost. But if you design and you start at the design, I think we discussed this previously,
Yeah.
You can have a green building at zero extra cost. You can design it in such a way that it is done at zero extra cost.
That your savings immediately counteract the
Yeah, because it is about orientation of the building. It's about building in features so that, for example, in a hot climate, you have the right shading, you're oriented. I mean, depends on where you are, but that you orient the building in the right way, that you choose the building materials that are the best on the sustainability side. I mean, that you just do smart things in the building design itself that make it almost zero extra cost.
Yeah.
If you're converting, it's a different story.
More difficult, but also there it's possible, and there are also
possible with a 10-year payback. I mean, a 10-year payback to get to a level where you don't have to, but you could already certify at an EDGE level or at a BREEAM regular level with a 10-year payback. That's pretty short, I would say, in the lifespan of the building.
So to cut in there, but always the clock's always in my neck. We touched on briefly last time on the Sustainable Hospitality Alliance, where many hotel companies, hotel operators got together to form the alliance with a view to come up with a common standard and whatever. How far has that gotten, and are we seeing a big impact? Because when I do travel, which of course I haven't done an awful lot lately, but I still see many things which I call the low-hanging fruit and the more obvious ones, because a lot of it, you mentioned MEP and whatever, is in the background, which I don't really see necessarily. But I look at the old shampoo bottles, and I know it's a very low-hanging fruit, but I still see plenty of those around. I see a linen change and all sorts of things which are the real glaring ones. How far have you gone with the alliance?
Excellent news, but before speaking about Sustainable Hospitality Alliance, let me speak about the industry and how the industry is coming together. So together with the WTTC, so with the World Travel and Tourism Council, we are launching with a number of leading companies who are already behind it, companies representing 25,000 hotels in total. We are launching the Global Hotel Sustainability Basics. And that is to raise the floor of sustainability in the industry to a common, solid, non-negotiable, accessible level globally. And that's where these things come in, Niels, that you mentioned. What are the minimal things that we need to do everywhere in sustainability? How do we get everyone on the train of sustainability? Because let's face it, there is a reality of we need to go to net zero. We know where we need to go, but there's also a reality of the long tail of hospitality, which is what you refer to, you know. Even in portfolios that are big like ours, you have franchisees who we still need to convince to get started. In some emerging markets, it's hard to get started on some essential sustainability elements simply because the supply chain or the local context doesn't allow it yet. So we have to accept the reality that, or you have the independents, right? There's a whole group of independents or smaller groups who don't know where.
Still the largest number of rooms.
Yeah, and who are scared when you start talking about net zero. I mean, if you haven't even done anything on sustainability, why should you? I mean, going to net zero is like flying to the moon. Yeah. So the point is that we have come together with, you know, we represent the big groups in China, in India, in Europe, and we're talking to the other members of the WTTC and the Alliance to bring everybody along, also to give transparency to the traveler on this basic level, simple 15 criteria, accessible to all, starting with measurements that we do everywhere. So how do you measure for everyone your carbon footprint? And then also, what are the essential things you need to take up in the guest experience when you want to say you do basic sustainability? What is the basic level that you as a traveler will recognize everywhere? And we are talking to Travelist, we're talking to the distribution partners, to Expedia, we're talking to the eco-label. So really to make sure that this is the common starting point. Excellent. And of course, when we have that, and let's say we get 60% of the industry on that basic level, by the end of 2023, I'm just saying, then you can start pushing the bar, because if everybody is there, then you can start pushing the bar a bit further, and you can say it's not only about measuring, but it's about looking at renewable energy, for example. It's not only about measuring and reducing, but how much are you going to reduce? It's not only about, so on the guest-facing side, we have the phasing out of single-use plastics, which can be through water bottles, through amenities, through straws and stirrers. So those are the typical things that you have to work on. We are talking about green mobility. We're talking about vegetarian or vegan or plant-based food, because that has a great impact on carbon footprint. We're talking about food waste. So it's a flexible system, but a solid system that defines a minimum global sustainability level.
And that is that's for the entire industry. So I do not have to be part of one of the groups represented in the alliance. If I run a small hotel, I can access that.
Yeah. So as of March, it will be launched. So we started the initiative in the past months. We gathered all the groups already behind it. We are working very collaboratively with WTTC, with the Sustainable Hospitality Alliance, with Travelist, with the distribution partners, and the eco-labels to create that common basis. It's an entry level. So we are aware that it's a basic level. I'm not saying that this is net zero.
But you got to start somewhere, and we would have hoped to start a long time ago, but still good.
But it's to get everybody on the train, because once they are on the train of sustainability, we can make them advance, we can help them, we can provide tools, etc. So it's going to be open for everybody, available through WTTC, with a label, with a website, but no cost to join, just to make sure that you are part of an industry impact report and an industry baseline report, which we are also going to do every year, together with a technical partner. So
excellent news. I really think that's fantastic news, and I would like to find out more about it so that we can also, as consultants, as you mentioned, also play our role through the asset management efforts and whatever that we do, where it might not already be applicable, that we can help with that as well. Inge, I'm sorry, but our time has gone. I don't know where it's gone to. Thank you so much. I hope we can check in again with you in another few months' time, maybe past March, to see how it's how it has taken off. That would be really nice.
Absolutely. Can I say one more thing about the Alliance? One more thing. So the Alliance, so WTTC and the Sustainable Hospitality Alliance, so industry associations on hospitality and travel are working together collaboratively on this. And the Alliance has also published a pathway to net positive hospitality. So it's 4 stages. The basic stage we have just discussed, but then you have 3 more. And that is going to be done in close collaboration with the owner community to also help hotels get on the more advanced stages. So we look at the full pathway, also net zero. There is now a net zero hotel methodology, which is very interesting also for owners to look at. So I think if we cover both the baseline and the pathway where we are going, and we involve key partners like yourself, because it's very important to involve the people who are speaking to the owners and the investors, then we will certainly make good progress on all steps, wherever you are on that pathway.
But the journey has got to start somewhere, and the end is far away. But as long as you say, as long as we get people onto that train to take the journey. Thank you so much, Inge. I really appreciate it. All the very best for the rest of the last few weeks of the year. And I look forward to hopefully seeing you very soon again live. Where, I don't know, but hopefully it will happen. And thanks for your time again. Thank you. Take care.
Thank you, Niels. All the best. Have a wonderful year.
Bye. Thank you.